Hello, 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 everybody. You are all very welcome to Wednesday's live call inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA, the place where we go from A to B and then we decide we're going to go for a bigger and brighter A. Oh, Facebook decided to stop for a split second. Just let me move that there. Gotta love life. Now, going forward, you can see my calls on my YouTube channel at Anthony Beale 2024. Anyways, you are all very welcome to this week's call. So, as I said the last day, over the coming weeks, I'm going to share strategies that make an impact when you use them. Strategies I personally use that have helped me to create positive habits in my life and have helped me to improve my results, my sense of well-being, and have kicked me into action into achieving my goals. These strategies have also helped me to weather the storms that seems to come to us from time to time as we live our lives. Now, without having well-being in our lives, peace of mind, we're not really living. We're surviving at best. But how do we create well-being in our lives? And that's a question I'm going to answer in a number of different ways in the series over the coming weeks. And it's all designed to help you get more out of you and get more out of your marvelous mind. Okay. Now, in short, the quick answer is start to choose what you really want. Life is too short to be working on things and that you don't want. Okay. So then think. Allow yourself to think more and more about what you want. Dwell on what you want and get emotionally involved in it. Let yourself feel how it would feel. When you do that, you're going to start to take action towards what you want. And that starts a chain reaction that creates the life you want to live. Here's the thing, your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create your actions. Those actions then create reactions, which create your circumstances, your conditions, and your environments, also known as your results. And it all starts with your thoughts, the thoughts you're thinking. So, when we start to think better about ourselves, this leads us to feel better and we have a sense of wellness, well being. And this propels us to act better, we behave better, and we kick into action, doing things towards what we want. You see, you can never achieve something if you don't do something, okay? This leads us to move in the right direction. And when this happens, our results and our lives start to improve. Now, there's no shortage of ways to create better thoughts. Thinking better is always the first step to kickstart the process of creating a better life. And one way of doing that is to develop the habit of daily gratitude, which starts each day on a positive note. You can't feel bad and grateful at the same time, okay? Now, I spoke about that in depth the other week. I'm not going to go into it again now. And you can see that in the featured section and on the YouTube channel now as well. Another way is to think on paper. I've been asked many times, can writing really make a difference in our lives? And I tell those that asked what my mentor Bob told me, what his mentor told him. Because funny enough, this information hasn't changed for hundreds of years. And it's still the same and it will be the same in hundreds of years from now. Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image in our mind. The image stirs the emotions. The emotions cause us to take action. Action sets up a reaction, and the reactions create the circumstances, the conditions, the environments, otherwise known as your results. This is living in harmony with one of the universal laws of cause and effect. When you look after the causes, the effects look after themselves. And it all starts with how we actually think. Journaling is one way to start to think differently. To me, it's one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. We are all spiritual beings, every single one of us. Every one of us is spirit. We have an intellect and we live in these things called bodies. We also must contend with our physical environments and our internal emotional environment. Of course, our physical world is external and our emotional world is internal. Only you feel your emotions. And that's five different planes of existence there alone. Journaling helps to connect with the different parts of ourselves. I've learned over the years that most of our answers are on the inside. And if we're willing to take some time, we can draw them out from within. And this is where journaling can really help you on your journey, wherever you are right now. Okay? Writing is a way for you to go within and draw out your own answers from yourself for yourself. This can seriously help you to become aware of the things you need to reevaluate. And we have all things that we need to reevaluate. Beliefs that are no longer serving you that may need to be changed, or you may need to call time on some of the perceptions and opinions that you know are not serving you and you don't want to believe or be involved in anymore. Now, if you're like me, you've heard loads about journaling and all about some of the massive benefits associated with it. Benefits like stress reduction. It can help release mental pressure. Putting things on paper helps us with our own perspective and our perceptions and our points of view. It can deliver a boost to your well-being and health. Writing your thoughts and your feelings out has been associated with lower blood pressure, reduced anger outbursts, and improved moods. And Lord knows I've needed help with that over the years. It can help you to process emotions. So often we don't process our emotions, we suppress them, and that creates bigger problems down the road. When we doubt and worry ourselves, worry and doubt leads to that uncomfortable feeling of fear. By writing things out, it can help us to accept situations quicker and bounce back faster. You can't change what's happened, nobody can. So the quicker you can accept what is, the better it will be for you. And journaling regularly helps you to discover and uncover aspects of your life that you can't get with any other way, except perhaps maybe from therapy. Meeting a therapist is something I think everybody should do to help them gain different perspectives on the challenges that they face in life. But sometimes therapists are simply not available when you really need to talk to someone or when you really need to get your thoughts out of you. Your journal, when you use one, is always there for you. So, with all these benefits in mind, why was it then that I wasn't journaling regularly myself? Sadly, as human beings, to make any big changes in life, we seem to have to experience a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort before we'll actually make the change and make those changes permanent. Let me share why I eventually started a journal in the hope that it might help one of you start your own journaling journey quicker. And I emphasize, I would encourage every single one of you to be journaling. Okay. But so you can start your journey that bit quicker and avoid some of the pain that we can all experience sometimes when we don't deal with things. We sometimes brush things under the carpet, hoping they're going to go away, which means they're going to come back at a later stage in an uglier state. So, about 2 years ago, I ended up in the back of an ambulance thinking I was having a heart attack. One day, I started to feel pains in my chest right around here, and the feeling had started in the morning. But I ignored it at first because I thought it was just like a bit of heartburn or indigestion. But by the evening, the feeling it hadn't left at all, and I was getting worse and worse. And that's when I started to get a bit scared. So I called the doctor on call because it was outside of normal GP hours. I explained the symptoms that I was experiencing, and which they promptly told me I was likely having a heart attack, and an ambulance was on its way. It took an hour for the ambulance to get her, which, as you can imagine, didn't help with the stress or the anxiety I was already feeling. But in the intervening time, I asked my kids to put a few things into a bag for me, and I had to explain to them, in all likelihood, I was going to go into hospital for a while. I asked them to be really brave and to look after their mammy as best they could while I was gone. My wife suffers a mess and is wheelchair bound and sometimes requires a considerable amount of assistance. So now the whole house is upset, adding to the stress I was already under. Now, eventually, an ambulance showed up and I got into it. The ambulance crew started putting all these different wires on me and running tests and the like. And within a few minutes, they were able to tell me I wasn't having a heart attack. And nor, as luck would have it, did I have diabetes. Now, the overwhelming sense of relief overtook me, and I was bawling my eyes out. The paramedics were brilliant. Actually, they were so kind to me, and they asked me what was going on in my life, and I was honest with them because here I am in the back of an ambulance. And so I was honest with them about the care I have to give my wife, which I pretty much do most of the time on my own, while trying to be a good dad and and build my business to provide for us all. They told me there and then you need some support. You're stressed out of your gourd. What had actually happened to me is had my first panic attack or anxiety attack, as they're known to others. Something I used to say, and when people said, "Oh, I can't come to work. I've had a panic attack," or I thought it was all bollocks. I really thought it was bullshit. But I can tell you from experience, after having experienced one, I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack and I thought I was going to die. It was really an unpleasant experience. And it happened because I wasn't dealing with things. Okay. So I got out of the ambulance and I came into the house and I hugged my children and my wife with all the love I could muster at that time. And I went to bed totally exhausted from the day's events. In bed, I vowed I would start journaling. I vowed I would turn to the guru within. I knew the benefits. I had dabbled with journaling. I even taught people how to journal, and I heard loads and loads about it. I knew my answers were on the inside, and I vowed I would journal every day going forward to find my answers and deal and face the life situations I was experiencing better. Now, as of today, I haven't missed a day since I started that journey. And in my journaling folder, hit 670 entries this morning. I do it every day. I do it weekends, holidays included. And yes, even when I have a hangover, which is not that often anymore, journaling is a habit I will never ever stop. And I would encourage everybody to journal. It's done me so much service. And I've had so many benefits. I won't be able to share all of them, but I'm going to highlight some of them to encourage you to do your own journal, to start working with your own mind to get the benefit out of it. You do have more answers than you realize. I'm calmer. I've reduced my own stress levels considerably. I lose my temper a whole lot less. Now, yeah, I'm human. I still lose my temper, but it is a lot less than it used to be. And for those of you with teenagers, you know that's a serious achievement. I've uncovered thought patterns that were damaging me and replaced them with better thought patterns and removed things that were no longer serving me. Journaling helped me to replace many negative habits, and I'm still using it to replace habits that I know I still need to work with, because we're always going to have a knowing doing gap. I manage my emotions better and I feel them instead of suppressing them. It helped me to change many of my unhelpful beliefs, and it's still helping me to work on beliefs. It helped me to improve my opinion of myself, my self image, and it's helped me to be more productive. Now, to me, being more productive is not doing more things, it's doing meaningful things more. Now, there's no wrong way to journal. Actually, there is. The only wrong way to journal is not to do it at all. You can simply use a pen and a piece of paper, set up a folder in your phone, get an app. There are so many ways to do it. A lot of phones actually have them inbuilt in the phones nowadays. Whether you prefer pen or paper or digital platforms, find a method that resonates with you and start doing it. You can never know the benefits of it until you start doing it for yourself. Can writing make a difference? To me, it makes all the difference. You can only find out by doing a real test, though. And what I would encourage you is do a test. Start journaling. Do it for 30 days. And then afterwards, ask yourself, what did you learn? What did you become aware of? And how did you feel about checking in with yourself so regularly? And don't fall for your own bullshit and say you don't have the time. You can do it in as little as a minute as a day, or you can take as long as you like. Most days, I have it done in about 5 minutes. Now, other days, when I'm having a particularly trying situation in my life, which I have from time to time, I'm no different than anybody else, it may take me longer. And I may go into my journal a number of times in the day to help me gain clarity on the situation, to accept what is, and it helps me then to uncover my triggers. Because we all have triggers, we all have conditioning, so I can actually do something about them. And if you have any questions about what I'm sharing here, you can comment below. You can send me a direct message, or you can email me at abeal@anthonybeal.ie. I'll be back next week when I'm going to talk about another strategy that I use on a daily basis. And it's a strategy that most people they misunderstand of what it is and the benefit it is for them. I'm going to be talking about forgiveness and why it's so important for our own well-being and our thought process to engage in a particular habit on it. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you back next week at Wednesday at 1 o'clock inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA. Or you can catch me on YouTube at Anthony Beale 2024. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.